It is Friday, the NFL Combine, at least the media portion of it, beginning to wind down. Workouts getting underway. We heard guys doing bench presses today, and of course on-field stuff started today. I'm Dan Labbe with Tom Reed and Mary Kay Cabot, and we're wrapping things up here for Friday. I mean, really the big thing, Mary Kay, is we heard from Jameis Winston for the first time.
Yeah, you know, it was pretty interesting because before he got up to the podium, and there was this big flap that he had weakness in his throwing shoulder. Now, I got together with his quarterback guru, George Whitfield Jr. from Massillon, and he said, what? You know, he was completely shocked about that. He's been working him out for the past 5 weeks, and he saw none of that. He's been working him hard. Everything's been fine, and he was absolutely shocked that this report came out. Then Winston got up there, and he said, hey, you know what? Everybody here had an MRI. If anything at all, they both kind of think that maybe they're from all those pitching years that perhaps maybe something showed up on one of the tests. But for all intents and purposes, it's really nothing, and he will throw tomorrow here at the Combine. And it's significant because he may be the #1 pick. If he's not, then Mariota moves up, and everything kind of gets jumbled.
And Tom, there weren't really a lot of press conferences with fireworks this week, but that one at least lived up to the hype. He showed he can control a room a little bit, said he looks good and he knows it. I mean, what were your impressions of what you saw out of Winston?
Very charismatic. There's no question about that. I thought he was a little bit probably too polished at times. I think he said 6 times he wants to be the face of a franchise, someone's franchise. Going on, I thought a little over the top about talking about kids and stuff. Obviously, he's trying to project a good, positive image for a guy who's very talented, but also had a lot of issues off the field. Mary Kay, I don't know if it ran through your head, and you asked the question about Johnny Manziel. He was standing on the same podium as Johnny Manziel did that year ago.
Yeah, you know what? That's why I asked him that very question. I said, look, we heard from Johnny Manziel last year that he had changed, that he had grown up, that he wanted to be the face of a franchise, and he had also said that he wanted to win a Super Bowl next year. So we heard the same things. I tried to get that out of Jameis Winston. Why should teams believe you when look what happened to Johnny? He didn't really take the bait too much there. He just said, look, for the 7th time in this interview, I want to be the face of a franchise.
You know, look, at least from what we know of Jameis, he probably has the talent to back up some of the things he said. The real question is, though, would you take him #1?
I think I would. I think I would, as long as, again, you have to be comfortable. That's a big issue, and we know in the NFL more and more. We've seen it with Josh Gordon. I mean, the NFL is really cracking down on domestic violence things, and of course he's been accused of something very serious. If you're comfortable thinking the kid's changed or he's not going to go back in that way, I think the talent is there to be the #1 pick. I don't know what Mary Kay thinks.
Would you take him #1?
You know what? I think I would be careful because I do honestly think that the Johnny Manziel factor is not going to help him. I think teams will give pause to, the character issue here with Jameis Winston. Now, the Bucs say that they're comfortable with him. But if it was me, I probably wouldn't do it.
Tom, I know you're going to write a little bit about this, but what did we learn over these last 3 days? I mean, it was very Browns-centric, at least for the three of us, because there was so much Browns news. It almost feels like the Combine itself was sort of a sideshow from a Browns perspective. What did we learn?
I've told this to other reporters. I'm sure Mary Kay said the same thing. I would love to come to this Combine once where we're not talking about all this crazy controversy with Cleveland. We're still waiting to see that other shoe drop with what happens to Ray Farmer, as Mary Kay's been reporting all along. What have we learned about the Browns? That they're trying to have this look of solidarity, and whether trust has been broken between the general manager and coach with Texgate. I would just say a couple words that come to my mind as trying to mend fences in that organization. I don't know what Mary Kay thought.
Well, you know what? This was, of course, Dan, your first Combine, and you will come to realize that it's all about Browns news or team news when you're here. And really, usually that is kind of, although, when the Browns are really in the market for a quarterback, I think that kind of takes center stage like it did last year with Johnny Manziel. But generally, this is a place where it's all about free agency news and quarterback news and all the team news, and there's always plenty of that where the Browns are concerned. And you know what? I came away from this thinking that they're probably not going to re-sign Brian Hoyer, that they really are looking for a quarterback in this draft, that they might give serious thought to trading up for Marcus Mariota, and that they will do everything else that they can. There was some rumor out today. There was a report by Jason Cole on Bleacher Report that they were going to try to trade for Sam Bradford, or that he was like their number one priority. From everything I've been able to tell, the Rams really have no plans of trading Sam Bradford, so we need to throw a little bit of water on that for right now.
What I learned is that it gets really cold in Indianapolis, too. We had, I know there were cold temperatures back in Cleveland. We had the same thing here in Indianapolis. There's snow coming. That seems appropriate to wrap up this combine. That'll do it for our daily updates. We'll have full coverage of today and, of course, coverage tomorrow as well at cleveland.com/Browns. For Tom Reed and Mary Kay Cabot, I'm Dan Labbe. Thanks for watching.